All right, guys. So just so you guys know, it's gonna be Spanish and English. So if I say it in Spanish and you guys don't understand it, I apologize. Pero let's get this started. All right. So the first question, which is I'm pretty sure you get this a lot. Where does the name Scarface come from? And who is Ruben? Where's the name come from? And who is Ruben? Scarface Ruben.
Who is Ruben? Ruben es Ruben García, así es mi nombre, me llamo Rubén García. Yo nací en Torrance, California. Soy nacido en California. Both of my parents son mexicanos, Mexicans, both of my parents mexicanos. Mi mamá es, que todavía mi jefita, la quiero mucho, es de Morelia, Michoacán, y él es de Pénjamo, Guanajuato. So, tengo sangre guanajuatense, corazón michoacano, nací en California. That's how Ruben, that's where Ruben comes from. El Ruben. Soy junior, y ya I named my son Ruben, so he's the third. Scarface. Scarface, ahorita el nombre ya me conocen mucho por Scarface, pero antes me conocían por Scarface también, pero me hacían bullying. I would get bullied a lot. Because when I was 10 years old, tenía 10 años, andábamos en la feria de Morelia, Michoacán. Andamos en la feria y, para los que no entienden, it's like a fair. We were at the fair in Mexico y ya era hora de irnos. Y estamos esperando dos primos y una prima estaba comiendo cañas y las cañas se miraban tan sabrosas que yo quería caña. Entonces le pedí a la prima y la prima no me quiso dar. Pues yo muy valiente me bajo de la camioneta, que éramos dos familias, me bajo de la camioneta, al cruzar una calle, pues venía un carro, yo tenía 10 años, no, I guess I wasn't thinking right out, or no, I just started running, empecé a correr, me encandiló la luz del carro, me di cuenta que de aquel lado había alambre de púa, barbed wire. So, I ran in through the barbed wire, I flashed my face, me corté toda la cara, la parte de arriba de mi nariz, todo de aquí hasta acá, la parte de abajo de mi nariz, esta parte de aquí se me trozó. So, yo caigo de aquel lado del alambre, me levanto y siento que algo está colgando y le hago así y es mi cara, mi cara estaba colgando. So, agarro y me levanto la cara y yo no sé ni cómo me crucé para atrás por el alambre de púa. I went up to the window, en la camioneta estaba mi tío, mi tía, mi mamá y mi papá estaba en la ventana. Y pues yo iba deteniéndome la cara y le toco la ventana a mi papá. Y mi papá se me queda viendo como, ¿qué quieres? Súbete a la troca. Y cuando le suelto la mano así, se me cae la cara, mi papá se desmayó. Me rajé toda la cara, me tuvieron que coser. Ya no sé ni cuántas puntadas tuve, pero me cosieron toda la cara. Y pues de los 10 años en adelante, no, hombre.
La carrilla.
No me la acababan en la escuela. Scarface, Frankenstein. Híjole. Pero pues así es como resultó las rajadas. Y no nomás por el Scarface de la movie, no nada de eso. I mean, I'm scarred from my face. I got 2 big scars. I think you guys can see them right here. Y se me quedó el nombre, se me quedó el nombre de Scarface y crecí con él.
Sí, there you guys have it. No sé, cuando tengan antojo de algo y está detrás de una barda, no vayan porque luego pasan los accidentes.
Sí, no.
Y luego les ponen les queda el sobrenombre y la carrilla regresa.
Sí.
All right. So when it comes to the business, how did the whole thing happen? Did it happen just one day after another? Did it took some time? Because I know there's a lot of people that want to know. Obviously, when you create a business, it's difficult at the beginning. So how long did it take you? Do you feel successful right now? Do you want to go bigger? Do you had other plans other than making mix or the moonshine? Anything else that you wanted to do with the name Scarface, or was mix always the first idea? The first idea that you had?
Pues fíjate que esto de la michelada, yo nunca lo hice para vender. Nunca pensé en mi vida que esto iba a gustar a la gente. Eso nunca me vino a la mente. Nunca. Yo tenía mi trabajo, yo estaba trabajando en la construcción, ya tenía 22 años trabajando lo que es cerámica, ceramic tile, pegando cuadros, ya tenía 22 años, esa era mi compañía. Yo ya tenía un buen negocio, me iba bien, viajábamos con mi esposa, con mis hijos, teníamos, o sea, tenía todo. Yo vivía una vida bonita con mi negocio de cerámica. Entonces, a como van pasando los años, el cuerpo va cambiando y así yo creo ya hace como 10 años me empezaron a dar agruras con las bebidas, con el chile. Y una vez fuimos a un restaurante y me tomé una michelada y sentí que me estaba ahorcando, no sabía ni qué era. Y luego después lo hice otra vez y otra vez. Entonces me di cuenta que eran agruras, que las micheladas que yo me estaba tomando, o en veces cuando comía chile, me daba agruras.
Uh-huh.
Y ya no podía tomar las micheladas, porque yo soy bien michelero desde muy joven, siempre me han gustado las micheladas, y donde quiera que iba a un restaurante, lo primero, una michelada, lo primero, pero ya no me iban bien con mi cuerpo. Entonces, de ahí dije, pues, ¿sabes qué? Pues yo me voy a hacer una michelada. La voy a hacer a mi gusto y que no me vaya, que no me haga lo que me hacen todas estas micheladas que tomo en los restaurantes, así en lugares, pues, en bars, whatever.
Yeah.
So, pone que no todos los días, pero empecé a hacer mezclas. Tenía una canastita con diferentes chiles, ya le ponía apio, le ponía esto, le ponía el otro. Siempre había una carne asada y me ponía a hacer micheladas, ya sea en la carne asada o en la casa, hacía un caldito para echarle a la michelada, pero siempre me afectaba. Después de 8 años se tardó esto. Un día, yo no sé ni qué, en ese momento nomás dije, le voy a echar de esto, limoncito, pum. Hice la michelada, fuimos a una fiesta, me la tomé, toda la noche, no me dio agruras, me sentí muy bien y dije, pues, ¿qué es esto? ¿Qué hice? Ya al siguiente día la volví a hacer y la saqué perfecta, que viene siendo la OG. Por eso le puse OG. Dije, this is my original recipe.
Right.
This is so awesome. So, I make the OG y empiezo a ir a las fiestas con los compas, con los camaradas, y me empiezo a llevar los pomitos, y llegaba a las fiestas con 2 pomitos, 3 pomitos, pero para mí, para ofrecer, para no llegar con las manos vacías, un 12. Y pues la raza empezó a probarlo. Oye, ¿dónde compraste esto? Yo dije, no, pues yo lo hice ahí en la casa. ¿Cómo? No, pues sí. Oye, pues, next weekend hazme un pomo. ¿Un pomo? Sí, hazme un pomo, véndemelo. ¿Cuánto me lo vendes? No, pues te lo vendo en tanto. Y ya vendí un pomo. 2, 3 semanas después, oye, que yo, mi camarada y otro camarada quieren uno. Hazme 3. Entonces hago 3 pomos. Hasta recuerdo que un día íbamos a ir a una boda, a una fiesta, ya no sé ni qué, y yo ya estaba arreglado, ya andaba de botas y todo. Y mi esposa se estaba arreglando, entonces me mandan un mensaje, hey, te quiero comprar 3, 4 pomitos, si me los puedes vender. Y pues yo dije, mi esposa todavía se está listando, te los hago de volada. Pues me agarré y que me pongo a hacer la michelada. Y en eso que acaba mi esposa de prepararse para irnos a la fiesta, que dice, ¿qué estás haciendo? Ah, dije, tú haces unas micheladas de volada. Hasta me regañó. Deja eso. Deja tus micheladas, ay, vámonos, ya vamos tarde a la fiesta. Le dije, no, espérate, deja acabo la michelada porque vienen por ella. Y así comienza esto de la michelada Scareface, de hacerla nomás para mí, y de que una persona la probó, y luego de ahí él se la presentó a alguien más, y luego él a alguien más, y se fue extendiendo, y fue creciendo.
Empezó el trenecito.
Y ahorita, gracias a Dios, estamos por todos los Estados Unidos. It's amazing. It's great. Casi de no creerse de que esta michelada fuera a hacer lo que está haciendo, y no creo que todavía hemos terminado con esto. Hay topara, yo digo, todavía.
That's pretty nice. When you come to like doing, I know you just said like that you were putting like flavors, trying out different things, like when you want to do, because I know how many flavors you have now, like 12.
Ahorita ya tenemos 12 sabores.
Los 12 sabores. So how do you get like what do you choose for like the flavors? I know you just did the hot Cheeto one, which is your recent one. How did that come about in putting hot Cheetos, or at least crunch hot Cheetos, into a mix? Like how
that was crazy. The way that happened. It was just at one night, one day, drinking. Arriban un platito de hot Cheetos.
Right.
Y se me hace fácil meterle el hot Cheeto a la michelada, like a dip, and started eating them. Y de tanto que le estaba dipping and eating, I was like, wait a minute.
We got something here.
I got something here.
Was that what the original?
Y al siguiente día empecé a hacer mezclas y measurements. Y it probably took about a month and a half, I want to say, of trial and error to get it to where it's at right now.
Right.
Pero de ahí resultó el hot Cheeto flavor.
And that's how you've done it, like with all the mixes? Because I know you have like tamarindo, pepino, limon, extra limon. You have all those flavors. Is it the same, kind of like the similar process, or how did all that?
Something like that. Mira, como el de mango surgió porque estábamos en Los Ángeles, California, me acuerdo muy bien, que fuimos a un lugar de mariscos que nos recomendaron.
Shout out to LA.
Y me senté en el restaurante y pedí una michelada. Dije, aunque me da grudas, pues ahí traía efecto limón, no sé ni qué más traía. Dije, yo quiero probar las micheladas de acá.
Yeah.
Entonces me siento y me dice la mesera, ¿quiere la normal o la de mango? And I'm like, ¿de mango? I was like, pues deme la de mango. And I tasted it. I was like, wow, this is something different. And then from there, we went to another restaurant, like, como a los cuantos, al siguiente día o algo, y también tenía una de mango. Una sabía más como a seafood, más fishy que la otra, pero de ahí, la idea, yo ya empecé, oh my God, I can't wait to get home and hacer experimentos con mango.
Yeah.
A ver si yo puedo hacer la de mango. Una michelada con mango. Yo dije, tengo que sacarla, y sí. Bajándome del avión, casi llegué y compré mangos y empezamos a hacer experimentos hasta que salió la de mango. Y luego de ahí, pues, me surgió, oh, shit, ¿qué otro sabor podría hacer?
That's what I was going to ask you. So, like, from one thing, that's how all these flavors come out, and
yeah.
It's a roller coaster.
I've had suggestions. Mucha gente me ha sugerido, hey, ¿quieres decalar esto? Y por their suggestions, las sugerencias de ellos, I hope I said that word right. Sugerencias. He sacado 2. La de limón y la de pickle y la de spicy mango fueron sugerencias que alguien me dijo, hey, ¿por qué no haces esta? ¿Por qué no tratas de hacer esta? Y en veces lo tomé como un challenge. ¿Sabes qué? Let me try it. Y de ahí salieron esos sabores.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Have you ever planned on like partnering with a big company and putting it like in stores and stuff? other than like liquor stores? Because I know there's what was that liquor store you go to in El Botanero?
El Botanero liquor store on Houston, Texas, and Airline.
Yeah. Do you plan on like going like to like bigger markets?
Man,
like supermarkets and stuff?
It's actually headed that way. It's headed that way. Lo único que ahorita estamos detenidos because here where I'm at right now is where we make the mix and we outgrew this place already.
Mm-hmm.
So we're actually looking to expand. Queremos hacer una bodega. Queremos hacer like a Scareface headquarters.
Yeah, of course.
Y donde podamos meter más empleados. A parking lot for the vendors to show up and pick up, a showroom, to come and buy merch and stuff like that. Those are my goals. Those are my plans. With the help of my wife, we're already looking into it. We're planning. Hopefully, in the near future, people can they're gonna get to see the Scareface headquarters. I don't even know what I'm gonna call it yet.
Because they found Scareface headquarters.
Like yeah.
What was the first city outside of Houston that distributed the mix?
I think it was Dallas. Dallas, Texas.
Dallas.
Dallas. Saludos para ustedes.
And outside of Texas. And outside of Texas. And outside of Texas.
Was it I think it was Oklahoma. No. California.
With Alexis?
Fue el que me dijo, hey, me voy a llevar unos mixes para allá para California.
Yeah.
A ver si se venden. He was here at a show, I think it was called Texas Hold'em. And I was like, try it. Hombre, pues no alcanzó casi ni a llegar a California con los mixes cuando se le vendieron.
Yeah, I think that's the first time I bought some of the mix too.
Yeah, in California.
So it was just recent then, like 2 years ago. Casi, ¿verdad?
Yeah. The thing is that we were selling here at the house, and empezamos a tener problemas con los vecinos porque lo que es empezaba desde el jueves, pero más viernes y sábado. Mi calle se saturaba por los dos lados de carros que venían a levantar y era un trafical y me salían mis vecinos y nomás se quedaban viendo like what are you doing?
So what are you selling?
Yeah, hasta llegaron a llegar los policías a decirme like what's going on here? Y pues ahí van las mentirotas. No, we're having a party, but they don't know where to park.
Yeah.
Y luego pues de ahí surgió la idea de los vendors.
Mm-hmm.
El primer vendor que tuvimos fue Noe. He's my barber. He sponsors me. Nadie más me corta el pelo nomás que él, ni me cobra, nunca me quiere cobrar. He says, I got you, I'm your sponsor. Él fue el primero que dijo, hey, give me some cases, I'll take them to my shop, donde corto el pelo y ahí las vendo, para que se baje poquito. Le dije, you know what, that's a good idea. So se llevó unos de él, y pues la gente vio, hey, yo quiero vender en este lado de la ciudad, y yo quiero vender acá, y así se empezó a ir.
Se empezó a extender.
Yeah.
All right.
Saludos para la tía Angelina en Los Ángeles. What's up?
Hometown.
Pues ahí somos nacidos.
Dios de la Angelina.
Me encanta ir a California y pues todavía tengo mucha familia ahí en lo que es Long Beach, Compton, Norwalk, Artesia. Ahí viví también en California cuando estaba morrillo. Lived there in Cali. Saludos a los One Ways.
Okay, so in this whole business, have you had any major big mistakes where you almost lost everything, or have you almost been to the point where you want to like give up and just call it quits, or you still want to expand more with the whole mix and into more stuff?
Fíjate que nunca, hasta ahorita nunca hemos tenido una traba mayor, like a major, like us.
Yeah.
Like, we've never had that. I just simply transitioned from my business de tile. Slowly me fui metiendo para lo del mix. Ya me vine para el mix, and it was just like, it just started flowing. It just started flowing by itself. Eso sí, le tuve que meter mucho al recording, promociones, a lot of decals giveaway. I wasted thousands of dollars just giving decals at Scareface away.
Mm-hmm.
I've done all my promotions, and once I saw it that it was taking off, I was like, man, I can't take my foot off the gas.
Yeah.
You know, because I saw it that it was taking off.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still going. It's amazing that it's still going, and it's. I actually had a guy today reach out for me from Monterrey, Nuevo León, saludo a la raza de Monterrey, and he's like, I want to be the first one to ser el primer vendedor de tu producto aquí en Monterrey, en México. I was like, wow, that's crazy. That's super crazy.
You got to that point.
Branching out. Ahorita lo más nuevo que traemos ahorita es que empezamos a hacer el Scareface Racing. Probably a lot of y'all saw the race contra Freddy, and he was actually here today earlier. He's actually going to be, you guys probably saw as well, que they broke into his shop.
Mm-hmm.
He's already fixing it back up. Hopefully he has a bunch of security now, like cameras and stuff. But he's getting pretty close to opening up, and he came to my house to talk to me that he wants to sell my mix at his shop. I said, man, that's awesome. And he's in Conroe, Texas. It's probably like about a 30-minute drive from here where his shop is at. And I mean, that is so awesome. But yeah, with Freddy and SX, we raced. He's kind of getting into the racing scene. I've loved racing. I love trucks my whole life. I was telling my wife one time that I probably was like 14, 13 years old, and I was already trying to install speakers and equalizers in my mom's car and mufflers, and she would get super pissed off at me. I always loved vehicles. I still love vehicles. But yeah, we're transitioning a little bit into the racing scene. There's going to be on the 19th, there's going to be hold on, give me a second. On the 19th, there's going to be a race here. We also talked about that. He was like, hey, have you done anything else to your truck? Because he beat me that last time. I said, I haven't done anything yet. He's like, are we going to race that day? And a lot of people like that, you know, that about the racing part. And I love it too. But I don't think I'll go to an extreme where I'll build like a full build like racing truck.
Because you have 3 trucks or 4 trucks?
I have.
Because you have the lifted, the off-road, the Bronco, right?
I have the Bronco. Esa se llama la Mudwiser. Mudwiser.
All right, we'll get into that right now.
That thing, I bought it about 20 years ago.
Did you? All right, let's go with the Bronco. So on the Bronco, were your plans always to make it in like mud for like the muds and stuff, or you just wanted to keep it stock, or how did the whole build of lifting it and making it like that happen?
So the Bronco, I bought it as a work truck 20 years ago.
For the tile.
I was starting in the tile, and I needed somewhere to put my tools to take me to work. And I remember that I bought that thing for $1,000.
Los tiempos.
I barely was able to pay for that thing. I bought it. It started making me money. Me llevaba mi trabajo. Lo que me gustaba que como estaba cerrada, I would keep my tools inside the truck. I wouldn't no me lo robaban. They wouldn't steal my tools.
Mm-hmm.
And one day, pulling a trailer, I don't know if you guys have them in Vegas, but here we have toll roads. And I was paying at a toll road, and it just died. The engine gave out. I remember, man, there was so much traffic. The wrecker had to come pick it up. So I brought it home, parked it in the back, and it sat there for like more than a year. Porque de volada, I had to buy another vehicle.
Yeah.
and it sat there for a long time. And then after a while, I said, you know what? Let me fix the engine. So I fixed the engine, and then some of my buddies were like, "Hey, there's an off-road park. Let's go. You have a 4x4." I said, "Yeah, I got a Bronco." They were like, "Bring it." I was like, "Let's go." So we, and it had no lift, they had nothing, but it was a Bronco 4x4. So I went in the mud, and it was awesome. And then I was just getting stuck everywhere. And then that's when I said, I don't want to get stuck. It's going down. So I got a little bit bigger tire and a small lift. And then I went out again. And then I got stuck again. So it went a little bit higher and a bigger lift. And then I got stuck again. And then it got bigger. And it just got bigger to the point that it is right now. And now, I mean, I still drive it. I still go through mud and stuff like that. But now, it's more like a billboard. It's a Scareface billboard. I get requested by businesses if I can drop it off and bring it to their stores to cause attention.
Yeah.
So to bring in people to their stores. Y esa es la historia de la bronca. I rolled on that bronco one time. I messed it up completely. I broke my nose, dislocated my shoulder.
No, and, you didn't open your skin though, right? You didn't open the skin?
Yeah. I mean, it broke my nose. I mean, I had cuts and stuff.
No, but it didn't happen like on the fence?
No.
Your scar, that's what I meant. Yeah, your scar.
It didn't add to my scar. My nose looks pretty good. And then for a while there, I said, man, yeah, I'm going to get rid of it. And then after a while, I said, no. I went and I took off that body, and we put a new body, and that's the body that I have now.
And what's the how tall is it right now?
Man, I don't even know.
But you're going taller, right?
It's getting just a little bit taller. There's talks about that maybe American Force is gonna sponsor me some wheels. Hopefully they do. They want to give me some wheels because they already gave me a pair of wheels. Thank you, American Force. I love y'all for my F-250. They approached me and they were like, "We want to give you wheels," so they give me a pair of wheels for that one. And now they had talked about, hey, when it comes out, show us progress of what you're doing to it, and we might sponsor you on that one too. I was like, wow, that's awesome. So it might get bigger wheels, a little bit bigger tires, and just what it's getting down now is just upgrading the suspension because it's the same suspension that it's had for about 20 years when I got it. Right. And now it's going to be updated by exclusive DTS. Saludos para ustedes.
The main truck, the 50-1. Where did that inspiration for the name come from? I know you said it on your YouTube channel and you spoke about it. Pero para la gente que still hasn't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to the Scareface YouTube channel. And I mean, you can find an answer, but we'll get an answer right now. Where did the name come from? And where does the inspiration of that whole truck? Because it's one of the cleanest trucks that's out there. So where does it come from?
Well, she's actually not the main one.
No, the main one's the main one's right there.
I have another truck. It's a Harley Davidson. It's a 2007 four-door Harley Davidson that I bought brand new. It took me about 5 or 6 years to pay that thing off. That thing, I bought it brand new from the showroom. We put a small little drop on it, and then we took it to Michoacan and came back. Oh, man, I love that truck. I still have it. It's actually at a shop right now, Finesse Concepts, and I got sponsored by Mr. Intro. Salud para Intro Wheels. We're going to do 30s on the rear, 28s in the front. On that one, it's going to be fully bagged. So wait for that one to come out. But 50-1 is our main one. I think that's the main one. But it's been on hold and but 50-1. All right, let's go back to 50-1.
No, we can talk about the other one, the Harley Davidson. That's a badass truck. If it's gonna be.
It's a Harley. When I bought that truck on the Harley Davidson, I was so excited to just buy it that I didn't even realize that it was supercharged. It was not supercharged till I got home, and I opened the hood and I was like, where's the supercharger? I was like, no, hell no. I kind of wanted to take it back, but the truck was so beautiful. I just decided to keep it. And over the years, I said, one day I'm going to supercharge it. One day I'm going to supercharge it. One day I'm going to supercharge it. And after how many years? My kids graduated, both of them, from high school. And then after that, I said, you know what? It's time. And I dropped the supercharger on that truck. I did an audio system on it. And now we're doing that. We're gonna have it on a ride like on a cloud with 30s, 28s from intro wheels. So yeah, that's a beautiful truck. So La 50 to 1, back to 50. That truck, one of my members, Ground Zero, because I'm in a truck club. It's called Ground Zero. It was up for a raffle. They were raffling it out. Y me llegó el mensaje, hey, no le quieres entrar a la rifa. I was like, yeah, whatever, I think it was like $100. It was just a couple of people. The guy never drove it. It just sat there. He decided to get rid of it. So I entered the raffle, and I told the guy, hey, me la voy a ganar yo. And he was like, whatever. And so the day of the raffle comes, I missed it. I think I missed it. Oh, it was the way you would win this. It was through a football game, and I missed it by a touchdown. I did not win the truck. I didn't win the truck. I wanted the truck because I'm a big Ford fan, enthusiast, whatever you want to call it. And I didn't win the truck. And then like the next day or like the next week, the guy that won the truck, he calls me. And he was like, hey, I heard you really like this truck. I said, yeah. And he was like, well, I don't want it. He's like, I'll sell it to you. I was like, I will only buy it if it's cheap. But he didn't. He started at a big number, and I was like, you know what, bro? Keep the truck. Try to sell it because the truck came from the valley. Salud por la raza del valle. I said, you know what, bro? Keep the truck. I don't need it. No necesito la troca. Like I had my Harley Davidson. I was like, I don't need another truck.
Yeah.
I was already thinking of doing stuff to the Harley, and he's like, how much you give me? So the price started going down. So we got it to the price I wanted, and he said, let's do it. He brought me the truck. When the truck got here, I don't know if you guys seen it before or pictures, but that truck used to be orange with green, like a lime green with flames, a bunch of flames. But what I liked about it, that it was a Ford. It was a body style that almost nobody has out there in the scene like that. And it was already bagged, and it had wheels, and it looked nice. So I had it here for a week, and after having it here for a week, I said, fuck that. I'm sorry. I probably have to bleep that. Let's paint it. So we took it to the shop in Baytown, Texas, y la pintamos, la mandamos pintar. Fue lo primero que le hicimos a la 50. Once she painted it and it came out, I was like, whoa. I was like, wow, yeah, I was in love. I was like, wow, this thing looks crazy bad. So after that, I said, what's next? Interior. Let's do the interior. Because they didn't match. It was green with orange and stuff. It didn't match. I was like, man, we got to change the interior. So we stripped the interior. And when they were doing the interior, that's when I came up with the name. I think I said something like, this is going to be like one of a kind, or somehow the name just crossed my mind. Like, this is going to be like 1 out of 50.
All right.
Because everybody drives a Chevy. I mean, I got nothing against Chevy drivers. That's what they prefer. That's what they drive. Salud para ustedes, para todos los Chevy drivers. Pero I was just like, damn, this truck is going to be so different. Like, it's going to be the only one. And that's when it hit me. It's going to be like 50 to 1. So that's what it means. Okay? Everywhere I go and everywhere I went, it was going to be 50 Chevys to 1 Ford. That's how the name of La 50 came about.
And all right, so the last truck, well, the most recent truck that you have, which is the Karen.
So Karen, it's a 2019 F-150. I have a 250 that I drive. I don't drive her anymore. That's what I wanted. A F-250, and it's like a tank. And my wife would be like, go to the store, buy this, and I go in a 250. So one day I started using my daughter's car. She has a little Mini Cooper. It looks like you're driving like a little go-kart. And I started driving it, and one day I get home, and she's like, you left it with no gas. And I'm like, oh, sorry. And then another day passes up, and she's like, you put in a lot of miles in my car, and you left with no gas again. And I was like, so then I got in trouble with my wife, and she was like, don't drive it anymore. Don't drive her car. I was like, oh, okay. So from that day, I was like, I need a daily. I want a daily, but I don't want just any daily. I want a single cab F-150. And I started looking online. I started looking everywhere, researching, and I was like, man, they're expensive. And then I let it go for like 2-3 weeks. And Karen just me cayó mis manos. I was hanging out with my boy, Easy Wireless, and the truck shows up. And my friend, Easy Wireless, is like, hey, you like Fords? You see this guy right here? He builds trucks and he sells them. Buy that truck. So the guy gets off and he's talking to him and he's like, hey, you can buy your truck. And I told the guy, it's for sale. And he was like, no, it's not for sale. But at the right price, everything actually is for sale. And we exchanged numbers, Instagrams. And like 2-3 days later, I sent him a message. I was like, hey, when can I pick up my truck? And he was like, are you sure? I was talking about Luis, the ex-owner. He was like, are you sure you want this truck? I was like, yeah, man, it looks nice. And he was like, let me pull some numbers. So he pulled a couple of numbers. We talked about it. We came to an agreement, and I bought her. And right away, a lot of people were like, what are you going to name her? What are you going to name her? I actually put it on my Instagram. Help me pick a name for this truck. And I got a bunch of names like Cocaína, man, I can't even think right now. La Ghost, La Güera, Hombre. And I was like, what am I going to name her? What am I going to name her? And then one day my wife was like, I know what her name is going to be. And I was like, what? They go, her name is going to be Karen. And I was like, Karen? And I was like, why Karen? And then I started thinking, and I was like, I know why. You know, there's a lot of Karens out there going crazy. Calm down, Karen, calm down. And what are they? They're white ladies that go crazy. White bee. So she was like, I'm going to name her Karen because she's a white bee.
So shout out to the wife for the name.
Yeah. And I actually let her because she's the one that suelta la feria para meterle más cosas. So I was like, okay, you can name this one.
All right, so is Karen going to be, since you started the Scareface Racing, is that going to be like your main truck for like the racing or?
It is. Right now it is because it's more of a sporty truck. We were actually supposed to race Freddie with a 50-1. Yeah. But we have to do a lot of work for on that truck to race because it's on airbags and I was like, man, I'll race them, but I was gonna have to do so much to it on the suspension wise. And now that we got this one, it's like it's so much easier because it's a lot of bolt-ons, it's easier stuff. It's not on airbags, and so after we raced Freddie, we did a little bit of research, and right now we have a couple of things in store for it because we might race in October Truck Madness. And because the truck is a twin turbo, I think we're gonna probably like upgrade the little turbos. We're just gonna do a couple little things and go to the track. And I've heard, and I hope it happens. Billet Specialties wants to sponsor this truck. They're looking to see if they might sponsor me with some light wheels. Billet Specialty light racing wheels. I hope it comes through, and if it doesn't, well, I'm gonna have to ask my wife to write a check real quick.
Scarface sponsorship.
So my wife's gonna be my sponsor. She's my biggest sponsor. So, if we get that would be awesome. If not, we'll do it through another way. But yeah, Karen right now is gonna be more of a little racer, to take it to the track. And I already got called out by a bunch of people on Instagram. Hey, when can you race me? And when it's crazy, like everybody wants to race. And we did the Scarface racing caps. We did the Scarface racing decals, and hopefully we get a couple more things. See, right here. Oh look, and we just recently got this one made. It's a decal that I got in with the Scarface Racing. That's one of my new decals that we're promoting right now. And then we have the Scarface Racing one. See it? Scarface Racing. We have this. We're gonna start doing a couple of things of Scarface Racing. We might make some shirts with the trucks, like racing. So we're transitioning into that, but we're never far away from the trucks. We're always into trucks. I'm always into trucks. I love trucks. I like to go see trucks. I'm a big fan of going out there, and then now that we go to shows, my wife like, that's crazy because this is what you love to do. I used to go to shows all the time, and now I go to shows. I do my thing. I hang out with people, meet people all the time, sell my mix, sell my merch, and then I get to see these trucks. I get to travel and go all over and check out other people's vehicles. That is so awesome.
Because do you plan on? Because I know do you have Can-Ams and stuff, right? I know you have one for your wife. Do you plan on doing like a off-road type thing, like racing team with that, and expanding into that world, or no?
No, that one is too expensive. Those if you guys have a Can-Am or a Razor or a four-wheeler, those things are so expensive to keep up with, for the maintenance, for any little thing it breaks, and it's like, oh my god, it's expensive. No, those are made. We bought those because here in Houston, close to Houston, there's a little city called Crosby, Texas, and they have an awesome park. It's called Extreme Off-Road, and it's a place to go on the weekend and you can forget about everything. You go ride, you go have a good time, and everybody has a Razor Can-Am. And I kind of got bullied into it, or peer pressure. My friends were like, we all got Can-Ams, we all got Razors. When are you going to get yours? And I was like, oh, man. So I kind of had to break down and give me one. And then now we recently wrapped it. And now it helps me as a billboard as well. We took it to Slamboree in Oklahoma. And, man, I'm going to tell you this. The 50 was here and the trailer. The Can-Am was here. And it seemed like the 50-1 was invisible. Everybody was just like, oh my God, what is that? That thing is so nice. I was like, yeah, but I got a truck over too. They weren't even paying attention to my truck. Everybody, it just caught so much attention with the wrap we put, the Scarface, and that's mainly what it's for, to
promote.
Attract, so when we take it to shows and stuff like that.
Do you ever plan on hosting your own show in the future? Because I know you love going to truck shows. You love seeing the trucks. You're into all these events, and I'm pretty sure you love burning out like everybody else does. So do you ever plan on hosting anything other than just the races?
You know what? I probably will end up not now, and especially because of the COVID.
Yeah.
Not now, but it will happen. I already have a lot of people, Bro, if you would make an event, I would go. One of the ideas that I had, because I also have my other brand, which is Listo Pal Pisto. My idea was to make a Listo Pal Pisto event. And on that one, we would do like a concert truck show, just like a big fiesta. Mm-hmm. Like And then that's one of the names that came up in my head. El Listo Pal Pisto event or Listo Pal Pisto show, or it will happen. It'll eventually happen. Y si no se llama así, it'll be something else, but I will end up throwing myself like a big show, and hopefully people come out, and then make it a yearly.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, so another question is, how do you? We're gonna go back to the mixes. How do you How do you feel about other people starting their own mix brands and stuff? Do you feel any competition? I know you personally. I'm pretty sure you don't. There's room for everybody, but do you feel like the just the people make it sound worse than it should be, like competition wise?
It does. Competition. I always see competition as something good.
Right.
Competition keeps you on your toes. It keeps you motivated. If there wasn't nobody else doing this, I would probably get bored. Me aburriría, and I would no le echara tanta ganas. No le echara ganas a este pedo. But I see all these youngsters that see me, and they're like, I could do that. Man, sometimes I'm like, man, it's crazy what I kind of feel like something I create. No te des por vencido, échale ganas. Echándole ganas todo se puede.
Do you okay? So exactly. So do you plan on? I'm pretty sure you've seen toda la gente que está haciendo los dulces and all that. Do you plan on expanding into like that when you become when you get that headquarters, or is it just gonna be pure mix and just?
No, we're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it pure mix. And the reason being, so it could always be top quality. I don't want to be. I'm gonna make this also. What I am doing is like, and a lot of people started doing it after she came out. Yum Yum Candy, we back her up. And there's a lot more candies out there. Y les mando un saludo. And I always they send me their candies to taste. But, I feel like she's part of my team. And also Gallito Brothers. He does the carnita seca. We're like partners. We help each other out a lot. And también está saliendo carnitas de todos, doing what he's doing. And that's awesome. And I just let them do what they do. The only thing I do is try to back them up and help them out. In return, they help me out and they back me up. But I don't think I would go into I'm gonna make cheap dulces and I'm gonna make this and that too. We're gonna keep it a lot more micheladas and maybe come out with new flavors. As we'll see, new flavors when we make the new headquarters, the new building. That's when we'll step up our game and make more flavors. But no. I mean, we're sticking to michelada 100%. That's what it's going to be about. And merch, we're going to start doing a lot more merch because, like this shirt, a lot of people, hey, so now we're doing merch.
On the merch, okay. On the merch side, do you plan on doing more stuff for like the female side? Because I know you have the female some part like some clothes that are for like the females y todo. But do you and your wife plan on branching out into that a little bit more than you already have?
Because I have my wife, because I have my daughter, and they go with me to all the shows and all the truck shows, and they help out. They pick, what they're doing is like, we're going to make a leopard print, we're going to make this pink for the girls, because a lot of the girls that go to these shows, they walk up to a booth, and all there is stuff for guys.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
They go to my booth, and they go home with a girly shirt, girly sunglasses, the girly decal, and my wife and my daughter help me pick out, design, and create. But yeah, we're definitely we definitely want to do a lot more for the girls because of my girls, and that they help me. We want to do more shirts. We already have the glass mugs. We have those. Ya que dicen lista pa'l pisto, the tumblers, the sunglasses, the pink ones. There's gonna be a lot. There's gonna be more stuff for girls. So when we go to shows, One funny story that my wife told me was that there was a guy that came and said, "Let me get one of those. What was it, leopard? Let me get one of those leopard shirts." My wife was like, "What size?" I don't even know what size it was. And the guy was like, "Yes, because I want to take something back to my wife, right?" So I won't get in trouble because I was out here at the show all day. That was awesome. I was like, so we got to make sure we have stuff and gear for girls. Look, it's a lista pal pisto. Lista pal pisto. And then we already have some shirts that have on the sides very little that said "Toxica, Toxica" on some of the shirts. Yeah.
All right. Is your wife there?
Yeah, she's back here. I don't think she wants to come out on the camera though.
All right. So I have a question. She doesn't have to come out. How do you feel about the whole brand and your husband being known throughout the scene? Like, how do you feel about like when people come to your guys' booth? Because I know it's a lot of people that go. How do you feel on like que lo reconozcan and all that?
It's weird because to me he's Ruben. He's my husband.
Right.
It's crazy. It's unbelievable. I can say. I mean, but he's good. He's good at talking to people. He's not shy.
Oh, I know that.
Not like me. I hide behind the camera because I just work for him. I don't. But I mean, it's just crazy. It's crazy how he gets recognized. We could be at the store loading up groceries and they send him a video of us and I'm like, oh my God, just crazy.
Just overwhelming.
I'm happy for him.
Crazy story about my wife. First I quit my job and I transitioned to Scareface Mix. I went at it full blast because she told me, she was like, you can't be doing both. You need to pick picaladas or your towel business. And then she said, give it a month. Give it a month. And if you don't think you make it, go back to your towel job.
Mm-hmm.
Because of her, I said, I took that leap and I did it. And then 1 month became. So because of her, I took that leap and I said, let me try it. 1 month became 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. And I couldn't go back. And then one day, like after 6 months, was it 6 months? After 6 months that I was by myself making the mix, everything. One day she comes home and it's like a Wednesday and she's like, I forgot to tell you, this Friday my last day. And I was like, what you mean? She's like, I quit my job. I put in my 2 weeks notice. And I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, I'm quitting my job because I need to help you. And she had been working at her job for 24 years. That's crazy. And she left her job for me.
That's love right there. Any advice you can give any like up and coming businesses, both, as like partners, like any advice you can give to like support like you guys, how she supports you, like any advice that she can give like the females to, support their partners on whatever businesses they want to grow?
Well, first of all, I think it takes a lot of patience because at first when he started making his mixes, I would tell him, you better clean up your mess.
Right.
Like, oh my God, he's making a mess in the kitchen again. It just takes patience. I mean, you never know what can happen as far as how big it will actually go or what the outcome will be.
Correct.
But it just takes patience. I mean, and then if you love the person, it's even better.
How do you feel about that?
I feel good because she backs me up. There's sometimes, funny story about the caps. She backs me up, but like the first time I went out and I was like, hey, I got to price in some caps. And she was like, what do you mean? I was like, I'm going to make some Scarface caps. And she was like, for what? To sell them. You're crazy. You're not going to be selling caps. And I was like, I think they'll buy them. And she was like, how much? What are you going to make? I was like, I think I got to make a minimum of like I think it was like 20. A minimum of 20 to get them at a certain price. And what's that price? And it was like $300 and something. And she was like, oh, no, you're not going to spend that kind of money on some damn cats. And I had to like convince her, let me get these cats. I promise we'll get the money back, this and that. And finally, she coughed up the money. I bought the caps, and within a couple of days, they sold. And I was like, wow. And just like posting them on Instagram, people wanted the caps. And the funny part about that now is that now I ordered by the hundreds. Hey, I just ordered 200-300 caps. And she's just like, okay. But at the beginning, she was like, what are you doing?
Well, here's one. You got one right here.
But you're wearing one right there. But yeah, she has my back. Sometimes I have to explain to her, that it's for the business. People want this. It's not because I just want to do it. People like different stuff and get your merch and your items and stuff like that.
Has there been something crazy that you've asked to buy and she's completely said no?
I don't think so. I give into everything.
The thing is that, like,
I give in into everything.
I give into everything.
The thing is that I don't ask for like huge things. Like, I don't like.
Well, it depends what you consider huge and other people.
Yeah, you're right.
Like the truck was the Karen.
Well, Karen.
Well, I know you got it because of the car, but like when you came up with that idea that you wanted.
I had showed her other trucks, and they were on the way off the price range that I wanted.
Right.
Because if you look up one of these trucks, they run from like 40 to 98,000, depending what kind of single cab you get.
Mm-hmm.
And I had showed them to her, and a lot of them were out of state. And myself, I felt like, man, they're kind of expensive. I really wasn't pushing it, but I would show her, look at this truck. I was like, it's in Kentucky, and it's only $50,000. And then I would be like, and she would look at me like, damn, and I'll be like, nah, it's too expensive. So when I gave her the price that we negotiated with Karen, it was way lower than what I had been showing her.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, let me see the truck. And I showed her a picture. She was like, get it. That truck is nice.
Oh, that's good. All right, now any advice you would give any upcoming brands that want to not only expand with them, like start their own mix, but like just in general, any upcoming brands that what's the best advice that somebody gave to you that you can give to them? Any mistakes you learned from, being in business for so long?
The advice I can give you is if you're going to start something, don't give up right away. Échale ganas. Try. Keep trying. Another thing you need to do, if you're out there trying to start any kind of business, it don't matter if it's a michelada brand, it could be whatever, a t-shirt brand, a cap brand, a food, una taqueria, anything. Reach out to other people. And try to get, other people involved to help you. And if that person doesn't help you and they don't want to, go to the next person. Keep knocking on doors. Porque un día se te va a abrir una. Y con una que se te abra, se te empiezan a abrir las demás. And I'm one of the type of persons that I get a lot of people that ask for a shout out, help me this, help me that. Y cuando veo que la ocasión se da, I try to help people. I try to help people as much as I can. Of course, I can't help everyone, but I do try. I send shout outs. I do little giveaways with people.
You do podcasts.
And believe it or not, every little thing like that takes time. This is taking time from other things I could be doing. But you know what? I break down and I'm like, I'm going to sit down with him. We're going to do this interview. We're going to talk about whatever he wants to talk about. And hopefully this helps you out. Castillo Photos, I hope this helps you out también.
Appreciate it.
I want to see you grow. I want everybody around me, all my team, all my friends that consider me a friend or a business friend. I want them to grow. I want them to come up, make money, que les vaya bien en la vida, you know? Y como les estoy diciendo, my best advice is échale ganas. No te des por vencido muy tan pronto, you know? Y también, remember to start from the bottom and work your way up. I see a lot of people that they want to start at the top, and that sometimes, a lot of times it doesn't work. You got to take baby steps, and then crawl, walk, así como un baby. You got to start at the bottom and work your way up. Y como te digo, try to connect with other businesses and make like a little chain, make like a little team, and that will help out a lot of anybody. I promise you, because if you're doing a business and you hook up with 5 other little businesses and you post something, all those other 5 businesses are also going to post you. And when they post something, you're going to post it. So the more you get out there, the more people see you. That's when you have the more chances, you know? It don't matter if you get seen one time. That's all it takes. If te ven una vez and they're like, oh, shit, I want to try those tacos. I want to try that michelada. I want to try that drink. I want to try those pies. Whatever it is. Just don't give up. Keep trying. It don't matter what they say. La pinche michelada del Scareface está más buena que la tuya. Don't give up on that. Don't, because you never know. Somebody else can say, I don't like Scareface michelada because of this. But yours was better. You never know. You know? You never know.
Yeah. All right. How do you feel about Mr. ¿Cómo se llama? El artista, what's his name? The Houston guy. The big guy.
Oh,
Bo Bundy. How did that whole thing come towards you guys? Because he knows who you are. He knows the brand. How did all that come up, and how did you? Cause I'm pretty sure you have like a relationship with him. How did all that happen?
Bo Bundy is a young little dude que le está echando muchas ganas aquí en Houston. Muchas ganas. He actually knows my godson Gilbert. I think they went to school together. He knows. He knew I think my daughter and my son somehow. And then I think he started seeing my videos also, following me. And then finally he tasted my michelada and he was like, wow, I like it. And then we met. He was a normal person to me. I guess he sees me like a normal person. Nos saludamos, nos hicimos amigos. We started talking. We started hanging out a little bit. He came to my house a couple times. And just because he was, coming up rapper, doing his thing, I actually gave him free mixes. I gave him free shirts because I wanted him to wear my brand. I was like, he's coming out on videos and he's singing and I don't mind giving him stuff. I would give him. I think I give him decals, caps, shirts. Even if he comes now, I'll give him something because he comes to the house. He comes here to the house. He's actually been in this room. I think it was I'm not sure if it was December or Thanksgiving, somewhere other. We almost got drunk in here, just hanging out, and then I just saw him grow a little bit more, and it was like, wow, right before my eyes, he was just growing, getting more popular. And what a
Yeah.
raps. And then he invites me to one of his videos, and I'm like, wow, I'm like, let's go, let's do it. So I come out with him, and then I think Esteban Gabriel was also there. So look for Esteban Gabriel because he's also from here, from Houston. And then the one where he hit a million views, that Rancho Humilde recognized him and gave him that shot. He actually hit me up and was like, hey, we're gonna record this video right down by your house. And I had just messed up my angle, and I almost said no. I was like, oh my God. I remember telling my wife, I have to go to this video shoot. And she was like, your leg is all messed up. You're going to go like that? And I was like, man, it's Bo Bundy. I want to back him up. Invite a couple of my friends to bring their trucks. I was like, I'm just going to go. So I went all limping and however I could. And I came out in that video, and that video hit a million. I think it has more than 1 million views now.
I'll tell you right now.
Awesome. That is awesome. I congratulate you. Bo Bundy, sigue le echando ganas. Rancho Humilde por todos lados.
That's 2.8 million views.
How many?
2.8.
Woo.
La de mi barrio, right?
That video, hey, 50 to 1. La 50 to 1 is in that video. And then he grabs a jar like that and he goes like that también on the video. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's so awesome.
Do you plan on like expanding in that world? Because I know you I don't know, you sponsor a group, okay, no?
No, they actually, Operativo H,
Yeah.
And I'll do it for any grupo. A lot of grupos hit me up and they're like, hey, we're a upcoming group and we just want, we want to play so people can see us. And sometimes I'm like, man, bro, we already have, but we'll do it for free. And I'm like, all right, come on. So a lot of people hit me up to play music for free. And that is awesome. But sometimes, la mera neta, a veces me siento mal de que they come out and they want to, they're not making anything, but a la vez te pones a pensar, okay, this is the way they're hustling, they're trying. That's how I say, keep doing it, keep doing your thing, don't stop. And Operativo H, they started doing their thing, and I started listening to them, and they were like, man, I was like, they play pretty good.
Yeah.
And they were like, hey, help us out. Let me play at your parties. Let me play here. Let me play there. And with them, I think I already came out in 2 or 3 videos of their music videos as well. And poco a poco, estos muchachos, they're growing.
Yeah.
Growing. And I would do it for any group here in Houston that, that we can that I can back up and have them in a video. On one of my, record them. If it's gonna help them out, I'll do it. I'll do it for anybody here in Houston, And not only Houston. If you go to any city and you want to be in my tent or hang out with me or come play just a song or two, you're more than welcome. Just hit me up, send me that DM, nos contactamos.
Perfecto. All right, well, any last words? Any advice? Anything? For anybody, by you or the missus, if she's still there.
You have something to say, baby? No? She just turned red and she's like, no. I just want to say thank you for this interview. I know a lot of my YouTube channel subscribers, followers, they've been asking for an interview, and hopefully we'll have another one, and talk about more stuff. I want to thank you, Castillo Photos, for doing this. I want to thank Acosta, that he's my photographer here in Houston. He's the one that does all my editing on all my videos, and he does an amazing job. Le deseo la mejor de suerte. Both of y'all, you're in Vegas, he's here in Houston. And I want to thank every single one of you out there that watches my videos, that drinks my mix, that portan la camisa, la gorra, un decal, and hopefully I get to meet you one day, y saludarte de mano, hang out for a little bit, drink a beer, or something. Así como contigo allá en Vegas, remember?
Yeah, appreciate it.
It'll happen with one of you guys. And, that's all I gotta say. Thank you. Los quiero mucho a todos. Un abrazo para todos. And hopefully we get to meet one day.
Alrighty then. Well, this conducts the interview for everybody that's been watching. Mr. Scareface Ruben, thank you so much for the interview, for the podcast. Thank you for always supporting. Thank you for always supporting me. I appreciate it a lot.
Oye, ¿sabes qué? Ahí estamos.